If you've been buying expensive fertilizers hoping they'd turn your garden into a lush paradise, you've probably already learned the hard truth. Most of those bags of miracle mix only deliver a short burst of nutrients before your soil fades back into mediocrity. Real, lasting fertility doesn't come from chemicals. It comes from life. Living soil, teeming with microorganisms, fungi, and natural compounds that feed your plants from the ground up. In this video, we'll uncover one of the simplest, most effective, and time-tested ways to supercharge your garden soil without relying on synthetic fertilizers. This method has been used quietly by traditional farmers, regenerative growers, and permaculture experts for decades. And once you understand it, you'll never waste another coin on store-bought fertilizer again. True fertility begins with feeding the soil, not the plant. Most gardeners make the mistake of treating the plant like a hungry mouth that needs constant feeding. But in nature, plants don't rely on fertilizer bags. They rely on the soil web. Beneath your feet is an entire ecosystem that cycles nutrients, breaks down organic matter, and transfers those nutrients to roots in perfect balance. When we add synthetic fertilizers, we temporarily boost growth, but, destroy that delicate web over time. The result? Soil that hardens, loses structure, and becomes dependent on chemicals to produce anything. The secret to reversing that cycle is to rebuild the biology of your soil. That means focusing on organic matter, beneficial microbes, and nutrient balance. The easiest way to do that, without complex tools or expensive additives, is through compost tea, or what some gardeners call a bio-brew. It's not a fertilizer. It's a living infusion that honestly wakes up your soil and brings back the microorganisms that do the real work. Compost tea is honestly the liquid gold of natural gardening. It's made by steeping compost in water to extract and multiply all those beneficial bacteria, fungi, and nutrients within it. Unlike traditional compost, which works slowly, compost tea works fast because it delivers live biology straight to your soil and plant roots. Think of it as soil medicine, a natural probiotic that restores balance and, boosts fertility. To make a simple compost tea, start with 1 shovel of mature compost. The compost should smell earthy, not rotten, by the way. Place it in a breathable cloth bag or mesh sack and suspend it in a 20-litre bucket of clean, chlorine-free water. If your tap water is chlorinated, just let it sit uncovered for 24 hours to allow the chlorine to dissipate. Next, add a spoonful of unsulfured molasses or brown sugar. This provides food for the microbes. Stir or bubble the mixture with an aquarium pump for 24 to 36 hours. During this time, microbial activity absolutely explodes, turning the liquid into a concentrated inoculant for your garden. Once brewed, the compost tea should be used immediately. You can pour it around the base of your plants, spray it onto the leaves, or even soak your seed beds before planting. Within just a few days, you'll notice deeper green leaves, faster root development, and, an improved soil texture. What makes compost tea so powerful isn't actually the nutrient content, it's the living organisms inside. These microorganisms break down minerals, unlock nutrients, and help outcompete disease-causing bacteria. They also form symbiotic relationships with plant roots, which allows plants to access more water and nutrients than they could on their own. If you've ever had soil that seems, well, lifeless, hard, dry and just resistant to water absorption, compost tea can completely transform it. Within a few weeks of consistent application, compacted soil becomes looser, moisture retention improves, and that lovely, earthy smell of healthy soil returns. You can test the difference easily. Just take a handful of untreated soil and one treated with compost tea. The latter will crumble softly, hold moisture, and smell rich and alive. That's the signature of healthy soil life at work. For gardeners on a tight budget, use kitchen waste to make an instant soil booster. If you don't have compost yet, there's another shortcut you can use. It's called a kitchen scrap ferment, and it's actually one of the most effective ways to recycle food waste directly into soil nutrients. All you need is a jar, some chopped kitchen waste, like fruit peels and vegetable scraps, a spoon of sugar or molasses, and a few tablespoons of old rice water or yogurt whey as a natural inoculant. Fill the jar halfway with these materials, cover with water, and seal it loosely. Let it ferment for about a week in a warm spot. During fermentation, beneficial bacteria digest the waste-releasing enzymes and organic acids that help unlock nutrients in your soil when you pour it out. Once ready, dilute 1 cup of the fermented liquid in a gallon of water and apply it to your garden beds. It acts like a mild compost tea, restoring soil microbes and delivering a slow, natural nutrient release. Farmers across Asia have used similar methods for centuries under the name fermented plant juice or bokashi liquid. It's cheap, effective, and works even if you have no space for a compost pile. You know, soil health depends on consistency, not complexity. Building fertile soil isn't about expensive formulas. Really, it's about regular care. Once you've started applying compost tea or fermented liquid, just keep a routine. Apply it every 2 weeks during the growing season or, monthly during the off-seasons. If you can, pair these treatments with mulching. A thick layer of mulch, like dried leaves, grass clippings or shredded bark, acts as insulation and food for microbes. It protects soil from erosion, locks in moisture, and breaks down slowly into humus. In other words, mulch keeps your compost tea microbes alive and active long after you've applied them. So, the end goal is soil that feeds itself. You know, the true measure of a successful gardener isn't really about how much fertilizer they buy, but rather how little they need over time. When your soil is biologically alive, it cycles nutrients on its own. That's how old-growth forests thrive for centuries without a single human intervention. With compost tea, fermented liquids, and organic mulching, you're essentially rebuilding that natural cycle in your backyard. In just 1 season, you'll notice fewer pests, less watering, and healthier plants. In 2 seasons, you'll see soil that stays rich and productive without constant inputs. That's the kind of soil resilience every gardener should aim for, one that lasts. If you found this guide helpful and you're serious about creating a self-sustaining garden that thrives naturally, don't forget to subscribe to Hydra Haven. Share this video with fellow growers who are still stuck in the fertilizer trap, and let's bring back the power of living soil, one garden at a time.